All she did was just walk them in a circle in the wilderness.
Man.
Oh, that's Kanye.
It's a reality show. It's really sad.
Homelessness and mental illness.
Okay.
See, going from Kanye to this.
Oh, wow.
Is forced treatment the answer?
How can you force treatment on someone?
Well, here we go.
Like run up to them and stick them with a needle?
New York City Mayor, remember we talked about this. I started to talk about this. Mm-hmm. New York City Mayor Eric Adams last month announced a new push to remove people with mental illness from the city streets. This man. An effort, he said, would include hospitalization of homeless people against their will. Wait, man, what you doing? What you doing, man?
On, you gotta come with us. You gotta come.
I'm not even bothering nobody.
You and your box. Bring your box.
If you're in New York City, buddy, you better be moving. There's no standing on the corner. What are you standing on the corner for?
Tear his box down.
I'm getting ready to cross the street. You've been getting ready to cross the street for 5 days now. We've been watching you.
And they get the people with the signs, the pendants. The whole, once you on the side up,
you're not crossing no street.
They gonna come grab you. Oh no!
And we got a sting operation. It's like, you was at this corner last week, and I heard you was 3 blocks away the other week. Another police officer said, "Yes, you guy with the dreads that's all over his head. You."
That's that photo there. Involuntary hospitalization. Oh no, that's something different.
No, he wants to lock them up.
They're gonna be like all in this cell trying to get
out.
Do
y'all remember that movie with Rocky? What's his name? Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, what about it?
Wasn't that the movie where the people lived under the street? Where he comes back as a cop. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Escape from New York?
No. He comes back as a futuristic cop. And the world and the streets is cleaned up, and he's like, "Where everybody's under."
They was being fined when they cussed.
You cussed, you got a fine. Remember,
you get a ticket.
You got a ticket if you fine.
What movie was
Don't y'all see us going that direction?
Wow.
No dirty, no homeless people,
no on top. You gotta live, and there's a city underneath the street.
Yeah.
When do you probably remember that?
And
movie?
under the street was all the criminals and regular people and people who didn't want to live with those rules.
Yes,
but they had to live in dirt, eat rats, and everything.
But above ground, you get fined if you use profanity. If you parked a certain way, if you dressed a certain way.
Emerald says, can you say infringe on people's constitutional rights? I smell a lot of lawsuits.
They may not even be mentally disturbed like you think they are when they come at you with a lawsuit.
Under the new city policy, law enforcement, police officers, they don't even know how to enforce now whether somebody is in the wrong neighborhood because they're the wrong color or pulling somebody over that you look suspicious. But he wants law enforcement.
Yeah.
Will have the power to detain any person who appears to be mentally ill.
Who appears
to be mentally ill.
What is mentally ill being appears to look like?
And is deemed to pose a threat to themselves or others into custody and force them to undergo psychiatric evaluation at a local hospital.
Ooh, this is a tough
like
one.
Many major cities in the United States, New York has dealt with persistently high rate of homelessness in recent decades.
So is LA.
Although the image of a person with schizophrenia talking to themselves on a street corner might sum up some homelessness in the eyes of many members of the public. But if somebody's depressed, research shows that most homeless people do not have a severe mental illness, but the mentally ill are often the focus of debates around the issue because they are more visible and often raise concerns about public safety.
Okay.
There's also a lot of debate among experts about how many become homeless because they have a psychiatric disorders versus how much the trauma of living on the streets can cause the aggravate the mental illness. Acerbate. California has also recently placed a new emphasis on mental illness as part of its homelessness response. A new law signed by Governor Gavin Newsom in September will create a series of statewide care courts that would allow a judge to evaluate whether someone must undergo mental health treatment, including involuntarily.
Wow. They're trying to find ways.
Demolition Man. That's it.
Demolition Man.
Demolition
there
Man.
You go.
Thank
there
you,
go.
Emerald.
Yes, I knew one of y'all would come up with.
But don't y'all see we moving?
I remember that movie.
Don't y'all see we moving towards Demolition
Cleaning
Man?
the city up, no matter by any means necessary. Like Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Pull them off. You need help. You look crazy. Take a shot. Eat this. You go in this home. Stay there. That's dangerous. That is dangerous.
Rather than put all that energy into law enforcement, how about have something like some special thing that he creates for the city where you have mental health experts and other people who are actually experts in this field.
Okay.
And you give them a salary. And you have these trucks and they drive around and they feed the people. They ask them, you need anything? You want to treat
like
the
mobile
person.
Units. That's
right. You want to treat the person.
Yeah.
And so you're paying attention to them more than you are arresting them. You're paying more attention to them.
The first phase of it is like,
why are you homeless? Why are you out here? Well, let's talk. If the person is just
they
out of their mind,
be out there. Yeah, they want to be out there.
Find out why, but have it more like on it because New York is a big place.
Yeah.
So it would have to be these trucks that would literally be in each neighborhoods.
That's
and
a
it
lot
would
of
literally
money. Who would pay for that.
Well, he want to put money into law enforcement going around and doing that.
His head look big.
I know it's been here. His head's been big.
Okay,
what's his name? But that's what I'm talking about.
Wow, I don't know if that's even an answer too, because that's a lot
of
money,
would be
a lot of time.
So what do you think?
And we all know, even from we may not know people personally who have been homeless, because a lot of homeless people that we may have known, they're not out on the streets. They're in their cars. They're in other places that's hiding out and being kept secret. But then we know there's people.
He is dealing with it. Lori Lightfoot is dealing with it in Chicago. You're dealing with it in L.A. How do you deal with the balance of removing them, but not having police being able to overreach or having people feel there's an overreach, but at the same time not leave people out there to suffer, and in many cases having mental health issues where they don't even know they're suffering? How do you strike that balance?
Right. And once again, I'll raise the fact that the population of unhoused is very, very diverse. And so if you are talking about people who are profoundly mentally ill, that is a situation, because they might not know they need help. They might not know they don't have clothes on. They might not know they're in the middle of the street. And you absolutely cannot let somebody hurt themselves if it's obvious that that is what is going to happen. But what happens in the majority of cases is you have outreach workers who talk to people, who show them what their options are. And in Los Angeles, like I imagine a lot of other places, people literally choose to be in a tent rather than in a shelter because they know that the shelters are not safe. So this has required us to have new type of thinking for how you get people off the streets.
See, she kind of just said what I just said.
When she become mayor? I missed that.
Which is why motels and hotels is an option. I worked in healthcare for a long time. I worked in the emergency room. I worked in the psychiatric emergency room. And I saw people who were brought into the emergency room. They were medicated, they were treated, and then they went to a facility that was not a locked facility, but a lot of these organizations, community.
That's what I said. So she kind of said what I said about having people actually go out that are in that field, and you have to literally address each one. Yeah, and if it's somebody who, right, each person is different. Yeah. It can't be law enforcement. Because how are they going to know who's crazy and who's not?
They're like cattle. They'll be like animals. Because remember in Chicago, one of the ladies in the community in Chicago, during that cold winter, she paid for hotel rooms for a lot of them. A few of them, they didn't want to leave.
Yeah, because they don't want their stuff stolen.
They didn't want to leave their place on the street to go to a free hotel room.
And I don't blame them.
So you got different reasons of why they're on the street as well.
Okay, so that was that one.
That's a very big-ish problem that every city is having. So we'll see how this goes.
Elon Musk threatens legal action over Twitter account that tracked his jet.
Ooh.
Twitter. Elon Musk tweeted that legal action is being